All right, so in this video, we're going to find exact tangent values of angle measures after previously finding sine and cosine measures. So first off, your sine plus or minus trig chart should look like that, and your cosine plus or minus trig chart should look like this. We're going to reference that here in just a minute. First, we're going to show all our work. We're going to do this one the long way before I show you a formula to determine the exact tangent value of 30 degrees. I want to start by drawing a reference angle of 30 degrees on this problem, and then go ahead and drawing the reference triangle right here. Now we know from the unit circle the xy ordered pair at 30 degrees is radical 3 over 2 for the x value and 1/2 the y. So I'm referencing the unit circle here, which means for this reference triangle, the x coordinate is radical 3 over 2, and the y coordinate is 1/2. And of course, hypotenuse is always 1. So if we remember the trig formula for tangent, it is opposite over adjacent. So if we do the work here for the tangent of 30 degrees, so let's think, what is opposite and what is adjacent from 30 degrees? And that's the opposite side, and that's the adjacent side. So we got 1/2 divided by radical 3 over 2. Now, before we finish this problem, what I want you to notice, the formula we're going to use here, instead of opposite over adjacent, the opposite side of this triangle is also the y coordinate. The adjacent side is also the x coordinate. So the formula for tangent, of course, sine is sine is y, x is cosine, tangent is y divided by x. So there's our three formulas. So let's go ahead and finish this one off. This isn't our exact value because we can simplify this. Anytime you have a fraction divided by a fraction, to simplify it, you want to multiply the top fraction by the reciprocal of the bottom. The 2's will cancel. And then you need to rationalize the denominator. Can I have a radical at the bottom? So we end up with a radical 3 over 3 as our exact value here. And of course, it's positive. Tangent is positive in this first quadrant. And the reason why, because x and y are positive in the first quadrant. However, in the second quadrant, the x coordinate is always negative and the y coordinate is always positive. So that means if you take a positive divided by negative, tangent's going to be negative in this quadrant. If you look at quadrant number 3, both x and y, or sine and cosine, are both negative, and negative divided by negative is a positive. And finally, you take quadrant 4, sine is negative, cosine is positive, and negative divided by positive is a negative. So that is the plus or minus chart for tangent we're going to use. Let's determine the exact value of 240 degrees at tangent. So remember, the formula for tangent of 240 is really y divided by x. Or you could say it's the sine of 240 divided by the cosine of 240. So we need to find the y coordinate and the x coordinate at 240 degrees in our unit circle. And since we're in quadrant number 3, we know both of these exact values for y and x are going to be negative. The exact y value is negative radical 3 over 2, and the exact y value should be negative 1/2. So that means ultimately tangent of 240 should be a positive number because a negative divided by negative is a positive. So we're going to go through the same process. We're going to multiply the top fraction by the space. I'm going to do it underneath. Multiply the top fraction by the reciprocal of the bottom fraction. These are going to cancel, and we're going to be left with positive radical 3 as our exact value of the tangent of 240. There's only so many x and y ordered pairs from the unit circle, so a lot of these processes we're going through to find the tangent, you're going to see again when you practice these on your own. Final one is the tangent of 315 degrees. Pause the video. I encourage you to try this one on your own first. So the y-coordinate at 315 degrees is negative radical 2 over 2. The x-coordinate at 315 is positive radical 2 over 2. Now you don't need to multiply by the reciprocal because this is basically the same number divided by itself, except one of them is negative, and any number divided by itself is either 1, or in this case, negative 1, since a negative divided by a positive. So the tangent of 315 is negative 1. And these are the three answers you're going to see for tangent. You're either going to see plus or minus 1, you're going to get plus or minus radical 3, or you're going to get plus or minus radical 3 over 3. No other answers exist for tangent when we're talking about these angles in the unit circle, unless, of course, you're talking about the special angles like 90, 180, 270. So, for instance, the tangent of 90 degrees is y divided by x. Well, the y-coordinate is 1 at 90 degrees. The x-coordinate is 0. You can't divide by 0, so the tangent of 90, that ratio, does not exist. It's undefined as the answer. Now, if you're talking about something like the tangent of 180 degrees, here the y-coordinate is 0 and the x-coordinate is negative 1, and 0 divided by anything is 0. So those are other two possible answers for tangent. You can get an undefined answer and an answer of 0.